Alrighty, now that when you get her Dragon installed, let's pretend like this is her original 12.5 Dragon in here. Once you have this installed, what it will do is it creates in your programs list, you scroll down to Dragon, it'll install this Dragon SDK Client Edition 12.5. You have to have that in there for this to work. So that's why you do this step of installing the original Dragon first. Now, I'm going to ask you to do something that's going to sound a little silly, but there's a method to it. You go back to your NextOS file, back to your modules, back to dictation, back to install, and run Dragon Remover again. This will remove Dragon 12.5, but it will keep this SDK. The SDK, we go over here, Dragon. This SDK will stay there after you uninstall this next Dragon, and then we're going to install 14 over the top of it. So you can run the Dragon Remover again and get rid of Denise's Dragon. Then you're going to, once that's completely removed, then reinstall Dragon 14. And once you get Dragon 14 there, you may need to create a user profile for that. So I'm going to open this up for just a second.
Entering sleep mode. Say wake up to start recognition.
That's fine. So once you've removed her Dragon with that remover again, then you reinstall Dragon 14. It has to be the second install. So when you get to there, you want to go to Profiles, and it's been a while since I've been here, Manage User Profiles. Alright, now this is the profile that Dragon 14 created for me, and this is actually not the exact same place. I've already done this, but what you're going to do is you're going to open this up, and it's probably going to say Administrator or something like that, and what you're going to do is export it to Denise. Let's put this down here. I'm going to show you where it's going to end up. In the NextOS, in Modules, and in Dictation, Training is where it's going to end up. This is where the user profile ends up, and you'll see mine right now. It says it's in NextOS, Modules, Dictation, and Training. That's because I've already migrated it there. Yours is probably going to say something like Program Files times 86, Nuance, Dragon, something like that. But we want to get it into here. So what you do is just take this one that is existing out of this user profile. Now this is in NextOS, and this is in the training folder. And then on your Dragon 14, you're going to, let me see here, hit Advanced and hit Export. And when you export it, you're going to pick this folder. So NextOS, Modules, Dictation, Training. And you're going to say OK, and it's going to, oh, it's telling me that it's not that. Oh, I need to let's say, I probably should have practiced this first. Let's say if I have this in default. Okay, this was my original one. Now we're going to export this, whatever Dragon 14 made here, we want to export that to Denise's one here. So I'm going to go back and click Training and say OK, and that's going to export that to it successfully. Cool. So I can close this now. Now when I open up the training, there's that spun out. Rename that. You need to rename that to the it's the username that you use to install Denise or start Denise. Mine is Dan. So I use capital letters on this because I noticed that it always does that. Once you've exported your profile from 14 into this folder, and I always export it like that. I don't just copy and paste it for some reason. And so now that is connected. Now what you're going to have to do is go to your program files and you're going to go to Programs 86, look for Nuance. My eyes aren't working too good. And you should have Dragon 14 in there right now. You're going to click that, and this is the one you want. We're going to right click, and I'm going to say copy. And now I'm going to go back to the next OS, and go back to modules, go back to dictation, and there's engine right there. Yours might be listed differently, but you need to open whichever one has program. I'll take that program out, and I'll right click and paste the one from 14 in there. Now, that should be it. Now, I'm going to take and exit this, and we take and restart Denise.
I have learned many things from you today, Daniel. Thank you.
That's nice. Alright, and just to make sure it's completely quit. Sometimes it runs in the background just a little bit. I'm going to turn off Dragon Services right here. I'm just going to end that task. Now, we restart Denise. Click login. That was loud. And now Dragon 14 should be working in Denise. We're just going to go through it here and check and make sure. If you see it saying start dictation and it takes a while.
The best way to cheer yourself up is to try to cheer somebody else up. Mark Twain.
There. And now we've got Dragon 14 working in here.
What is your purpose in asking? Speech recognition is disabled. Click in the red light to turn on.
And now, when you look down here, you're still going to see this dragon. Now, this dragon is Dragon 14, but this one is still 12.5, and it all works together. That's all there is to it. Give it a try. If you have a problem, give me an email.